Good day, my fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Corner of Remnant. I'm your host, Larissa, and I'm joined by my co-host, Emperial Dawn.
What's up?
And today we are discussing Chapter 8 of RWBY Volume 7, Cordially Invited. Woo! And it is just after Christmas as well, so I hope everyone had an awesome Christmas or happy holidays. And yeah.
Yeah, and please forgive us if we miss anything or are a bit tired. It's been a busy
week.
But, you know, like we didn't even discuss if we were streaming this week. We just kind of just messaged each other and like, yeah, we're streaming today.
Yeah, so, it's just like, I thought of it this morning when I woke up, like half hour before the stream was meant to start, like, thinking, I haven't heard from Dawn. I wonder if we're still doing that podcast.
Yeah, I was kind of like, you know what, if she messages me, we'll stream. If she doesn't, I just assume we're not doing it. So I'm glad you did, because if you didn't, I wouldn't know. But I'm very glad here. Like now that I'm up and ready. And
yes.
I'm kind of, that's always the thing. In theory, stuff's like, but practically, yeah, it's fine to do.
Yep, we're good.
That anxiety in the theory of stuff that just gets you.
Well, it's break week as well, so because today we're discussing Chapter 8, but
which has been a confusing thing to organise in my head when certain streams are happening.
I know.
Like, what time I actually get off and what time I have to draw and.
It's always a bit of a mess and throws everything out. But yeah, so next week will be break week for the podcast. Yes.
For this podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
We will still be discussing the RWBY on She Noob's Bootcast.
Bootcast, yes.
Us, which will be Friday night. Which I think for you guys will be like most of you guys. Oh no, you guys. I don't know.
It'll be up on YouTube too, but it is going to be streamed live on Twitch, and I'll be making sure to host it on my Twitch channel as well, and then it will be uploaded on She Noob's YouTube channel. I'll try and remember to put the link in the description below later. Hey, Corey! Right. Talking of Boopcast. So, yeah, so there will be no Corner of Remnant next weekend, but we will be on the Boopcast instead. And then the following weekend, we'll be back into it as normal, continuing discussing Chapter 9. Which, yeah, so we don't have Chapter 9 coming out this weekend for us. It will be the following weekend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a bit confusing. And usually they have the break week around Thanksgiving, or at least before Christmas. So this year it was after Christmas, excuse me, which makes sense actually, because that way RWBY can spend time with their family at Christmas without having to worry about pushing out an episode that weekend. So it makes sense, but it did throw everything out a bit with organising podcasts and stuff. So it doesn't really affect us too much, really. It's more She Noob and Corey because they have guests. So yes, well, yeah. So that's that. But yeah, Chapter 8. What are your thoughts on Chapter 8, Don?
I mean, it was a slow-paced, dialogue-heavy episode, so it's definitely more my personal preference for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think back through because I liked the initial dialogue between our heroes at the start, kind of discussing Jacques and a possible connection to Salem. I love the entering the house with Whitley. I really liked all the table scene stuff with Jacques and Ironwood. I thought, as much as Jacques is a dick, I thought he had some pretty valid and fair points.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in the smaller picture, in the greater scheme, obviously not, but from his perspective and Atlas's perspective.
Yep.
Like, Jacques doing his homework, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Mm.
Obviously I love Penny Winter stuff.
Yeah.
So that was very, very nice to see.
I love that too.
Finally seeing Willow was definitely awesome. The crazy bastards actually called her Willow, which I actually was not expecting. So I don't know if that's not because of us exactly, but if that's because of the fandom or if that's what they were always going to call her. I don't know. Love the design, love the character itself. We'll get more into that in a bit. Very dark, very enjoyable. And I was very surprised that this was going to be a two-parter. I really thought the dinner would be a one and done.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Two-parter, Fall on the Break, which, mightn't be the best episode to fall on the break, but that's a common thing of RWBY. The worst episodes tend to fall on the break.
Yeah.
I feel like typically you have episode 9 of volume 5 and episode 8 of chapter 6, which are two of the weaker episodes of those particular volumes, in my opinion. But I don't think this was as weak. It just wasn't, wasn't cliffhangery, epically mid-season finale as a lot of other shows tend to do.
Yeah, and what we were kind of expecting a bit.
it's not a deliberate thing. It's just how the pacing works. You know, it's kind of like exciting start, slow middle, exciting end. That's how RWBY always is. So it doesn't lend itself to a mid-season, unless like you're talking like Volume 6, not Volume 6, Volume 3, with its Episode 6 being its like mid-season.
Volume 4 did a similar thing with the Criterion fight as well.
Yes. That's a good point as well.
Yeah.
Everything's been very low-key. This volume definitely building up to what has been hyped up as a pretty strong final 5 episodes by the writers. And also, you know, what this will lead into next volume. So the only thing I'm really, you know, still on heels for is a really good, like, one-on-one, like, blood feud kind of fight. All the training has been awesome, very satisfying, but we still haven't gotten, you know, that fight yet. Obviously, last volume had the train, we had Cinder and Neo, like, we had a bunch leading up to this.
Yes.
This is Volume 4-esque. We're getting fights, but not, you know, an epic.
Yeah, we're not getting the epic fights like we did last volume. Yeah, that's for sure. I feel with that.
Speaking of, Cinder and Neo should be, you know, showing up.
They're catching up because a lot of weeks and time has passed since the start of the
so
volume.
Got that potential. We still got the Tyr and Robin Crow possibly from the intro. But that's guaranteed. They've had fights in the intro before that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And possibly a thing with Watts. I think we theorized last week he might not fight himself, but he might have like a puppet android or something that fights for him.
That would be cool.
Just because of his puppetry style hacking ability and his connection to Penny, we know he has. So he might himself have his own evil Penny version or something.
Maybe
like a mech or a
that would be cool.
Or a Pacific Rim style controllable machine or something. So there's definitely potential here. And that last shot of what's the end of the episode is probably one of my favorite little scenes of RWBY in itself. I just love the shot, and you know, and again, really enforcing how important the heating systems were.
Oh yeah,
I've speculated, and I've always felt, and you know, the second the heating turned off, the rain instantly turned to snow, which was just amazing visual and symbolism, and all this stuff. So I'm really curious how this end of the volume is going to wrap up. But this episode, yes, I enjoyed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. And I also agree with what Agile was saying. The fights haven't felt as much of life and death as they have in previous volumes. Though that could change with the fights coming up at the end of the volume. Especially with, what we've just seen too. And, I really enjoyed this episode as well. It did feel a bit too short, but I still really enjoyed it overall. I really loved being able to see the Shani Manor. It was really great to see that again, but from a different perspective than what we saw previously back in Volume 4. I loved the scene with Nora Wren chucking the food on that poor lady and Whitley getting doused in the wine. That was definitely my favourite part. It was just a nice little humorous part in the episode, where else it was very serious and dark. Because you had the dinner scene with Ironwood and Jarks and everything. And then you had that really sort of depressing, sad sort of scene with Weiss and Willow. And then you have that food thing in the middle of it all, which was really nice that they had a bit of humour, still some humour in there. And yeah, I really just like seeing the Shani Manor. Seeing that there was the one of the Marines who walked past, which had lots of paintings and paintings or photos. There was Jarks and Willow's wedding photos there. There was some photos of Ice when she was little, and also Whitley on the piano. There's no winter ones, which was interesting, not that I could tell. And there was also some other scenery shots. Another interesting shot, which I haven't actually expanded on, didn't magnify it to double check, but it looked like the dust mine, and it looked like Jarks shaking hands with someone outside it. So I wonder if that was when he took over the Shani Manor or when he bought the mine or something. I thought that was really interesting, that particular painting. Yeah, well, we found out the client has been let up go, which makes sense with what happened, which is sad because I love clients. I'm hoping we might see him pop up somewhere, but not sure. And yeah, I love the chat with Willow, seeing Willow and meeting her, and then of course Watts at the end, and the little kids say, "Hey, Mum, it's snowing." You're like, "Oh, that's so like dark," and yeah, because the kids probably never seen it actually snowing in the city before, because the heating makes it rain instead. So,
yeah, one of the interesting things I didn't notice in my first run through is that you actually do see a picture of Willow in I'm trying to think. It's in the dining room
Oh, right.
Just as Jacques first enters, and it kind of zooms out from the wall.
Yeah.
And you actually see a picture of Jacques, Willow, and I think, I remember, it might be Weiss. I don't remember who the third one was. But I didn't notice that when I first watched it through. So that's the only image of Willow that's like clear enough and is a current model. All the other ones in the house are, you know, vague and different, etc. But you do actually get to see Willow before you see a model. Interestingly enough, I didn't catch it the first time, but it does show you that before you actually see her later. So that was a nice tease that I didn't catch the first time. Of course, we saw Willow back in Volume 4, and they've clearly redesigned her since then.
Yeah,
her artwork.
Fine with that scene with the dining room with the...
I think it's when they first enter the dining room. So, I'm scrolling back here through.
I also want to mention that because I just said it on the episode on my phone. With Crow, he declined the glass of wine, which was a nice little thing.
Yeah,
I like that. I was like, go Crow, you do it. You're doing good.
Which definitely gave vibes to me that there might be more, not of a relapse, but like there might be more potential of a relapse story to come. Where he struggles with it a bit more, or he's tempted by it, or something again, in a later scene. Not so much as like an actual relapse, but just like a test.
Yeah.
A self-test, a further one. I feel like going forward, just because there was a bit of struggle in his voice, like it wasn't like a symbolism of triumph. It was a symbolism of like questioning. So I'm curious if they're going to delve into it a little bit further.
Maybe.
Like this was a tease of something that might come. A stronger.
But he's working through it, and I think that was a good sign. Like he hasn't completely like triumphed over it. It's just more like he's working through it. So yeah, there was that temptation there, but he was strong, and he's like, nope. And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go patrol the grounds. Like that's a good idea. That way the temptation is gone, and
I also loved Marrow. The same kind of reaction, but obviously towards the Faunus waiters.
Yes.
Like, I just don't want to be.
Yeah, I noticed the Faunus waiters, and I thought that was interesting.
You mentioned obviously before about the length of the episode.
Yeah.
I thought the episode, because it was more of a boring, dialogue-heavy style of episode. Not that I found it boring, but just, you know, as being stereotypical, I guess. I thought they did a really good job pacing it, because it didn't feel short. To me, watching it, you know, like
it was paced really well. Like it was sort of cutting between what was happening in the dining room to what was happening out in the foyer.
They did a lot of cuts, so when you go back through it's longer to find certain scenes, so it makes it feel like it's a longer thing. You have to look through to find certain points.
Yeah,
which is a really good technique they did, because Willow doesn't show up to like the last 5 minutes, but it feels like she showed up much earlier when I watched it initially.
Well, you sort of see when Weiss enters Jacques' office, and you hear Willow
I love that.
Say that. Weiss is shocked, and then we see her, and then it cuts back to I think the dining room, and then later it cuts
to Penny and Winter.
Oh, Penny and Winter, that's right.
Winter stormed out.
Yeah, Penny and Winter, and then it will cut back later, I think, then too.
Yeah, it was almost like unnecessary, but it just helped to make the scene feel longer.
It did. Considering how short it was and how much they were trying to squeeze in the episode.
A lot of jump cuts to make the story feel stretched out. But it didn't feel forced. It just was a nice way to spread it all out, in my opinion.
That's a Weiss pop behind you.
Yes. So I. Here's the thing. Intermission from the episode.
And the penny flash. I just noticed that too because it was behind you. It's so adorable.
All of my RWBY stuff, which includes the keychain.
Yeah.
The Oscar Ospin shirt. My cane's over there. I'll go grab it in a second. The pop, penny. I think that's it. There might be something else. All of this is stuff I bought throughout the year.
Yeah.
And my mother simply stole the packaging when they arrived at the house and then gifted it back to me on Christmas morning.
That's right.
So most of my presents in Christmas, in hindsight, I bought myself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes Christmas feel better because I didn't need any of this stuff immediately. I didn't need any of this stuff.
Yeah, that reminds me.
So that's a nice thing. I always like.
I got a plush too. Kaylee got it for me. So
it's plush, yes.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I think yours looks a little better. Penny's isn't perfect, but it's good enough.
Hey, best hits. Yeah, I love the Penny one. Penny's adorable.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I love RWBY's cape. It's so soft.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It doesn't go over her head though, but it's cute.
Yeah, Penny's bow doesn't really make sense, but it's there.
It's there. That's the thing with the plushes. Yeah, like it's got this was meant to be like her little.
Yeah. I love in this one.
ammo and stuff.
She has like the blue on top of her eyes. It's like the shade of the eye.
Oh yeah.
So I might start incorporating that into my penny artworks, give it a bit of a blue hue on the top there.
Yeah.
I always love finding like little inconsistencies or errors in official stuff, and like I'm gonna take that and put it in the drawing. I love doing that. Like I always draw Penny with the Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
LED or
Katie's been noticing that.
Little stuff like that. I always love finding little things because you notice in all my drawings the eyes are always look the most different from the original.
Yeah.
Because that's always something I feel like I can consistently change and edit and work with. So I might add some blue to Penny's drawings from now on.
Nice. Yeah, the only thing like with the RWBY plush, and a lot of things too, they have Ruby's hair brown when it's more black. Well, it's a very, very dark brown, but it's more black than brown with red tips, and there's like no red in her hair, it's just brown. But, you know, it's all good. It's just one of those things. Like even with the Pops, her hair is a bit more darker, but it's still more brown, or sometimes they just have it as all red. It's funny. But, yes.
Okay, what's another point we can jump back to?
Well, we can start at the start of the episode and work our way through it, now that we've sort of done our overall thoughts of the episode. Don't mind me while I just top up my copy of my R2D2.
Yeah, you're fine. I really liked, one of my favourite things about this episode was just that little starting scene, when you have Ruby, Yang, Oscar, and Weiss all kind of, sorry Blake, she was there, she didn't say anything, but all kind of discussing like this kind of idea of, I love how mature Oscar is becoming.
Yes, yeah.
Well, whether or not that implies the Ozpin takeover or not, that's up to interpretation.
I like how he's he's becoming more assertive and more wise in a way as well.
Yeah. And
he's accepted how things are, and he's just growing, and I'm really enjoying his character arc so far. So
yeah, Ruby's becoming a very observant and like acknowledging kind of character now, where she kind of always notices the little things. You know, like Nora mentioned it back in episode 6, but like the idea of like, you know, Jin said she can't be killed, you know.
Yeah.
And, that kind of then here again, you know, Ruby acknowledging that, you know, maybe Jacques, you know, now that Jacques in this position of power, he needs to be watched, you know. And Yang even said, you know, well, could he have some connection to Salem? And like, probably not, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't do something, you know, he wouldn't cheat his way, or, you know, like Robin is the hometown hero. How did Jacques win? You know, they're all but I think it's a bit more of a coincidence that he won and things like that. Yeah, it was short and sweet. It didn't drag on. It didn't feel necessary. It was just a really nice little.
I think what we needed for them,
different things to the conversation.
Yeah, and it was good because we sort of needed them to have that little conversation to solidify that they are suspecting Jack, rather than just jumping straight into the shitty manner and then White's just wandering off. It was actually, we kind of needed that. Yeah. Which was really cool. And
like you said too, like obviously, you said before, like how like the Klein isn't here anymore, and also, you know, like Weiss has to be able to, you know, Weiss makes the most sense to be able to
absolutely, yep. She can wander away without anyone being too suspicious. So
I do love. It's really cute to me that like Whitley's now like the doorman.
Yeah,
he did it back in episode 4. He's doing it again.
Yes. I'm surprised they didn't hire someone else.
Well, yes, but I have seen in other mediums before where like you have your like a rich father will have his son do a lot of the more social and like mini political kind of work.
Yeah,
they're like, again, as like a show of good faith, or like a show like you know, you have to learn how to do things. So, you know, you go like, you know, be my introducer as kind of like, you know, your first stepping stone into the business world, in a sense. So like he's working. So Whitley's become like a middleman between Jacques and anyone he's dealing with. You know, which what Whitley you know, gets that experience, I think, is the intention.
Yeah.
There. You know, where it's very easy to see, he's Whitley as a doorman. I think there's a lot more to it.
And it could be that Jacques doesn't want to spend the money on another person, on another client, but also could be the more you know, trusting someone else as well with things. And possibly. It could be a mixture of things that he just hasn't got around to doing it.
I think you're on the point there of like it's a trust thing.
Yeah.
For sure, obviously, because I'm sure he did trust Klein a lot, then realized he couldn't. So go to his next closest person. And again, that, and also I think it's trying to teaching Whitley a lesson in a sense.
Yeah.
Of Jacques probably didn't work too hard for all of these things. I can still imagine he still wants Whitley to learn, and also probably wants to hope he doesn't have a third case scenario where a child doesn't grow up to what he wants to be.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do like that. And that ties in really well to one of my favorite parts of the episode is when Willow just says at the end there, don't forget about Whitley.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just want anything to do with him. He was like, well, you left him.
Exactly.
He only has one person to look up to, and us. You weren't there. And I could definitely see that as a bit of maybe unfair of Villa to say that, but she's been manipulated her whole life seemingly, so it wouldn't surprise me that she projects that kind of unintentional manipulation to Weiss, but with much greater intentions than the manipulation she's been exposed to, for sure.
Yeah, well, I agree, Bassett, too, because we haven't really had too much of Willow. It was good to see her, and I haven't actually read the comic yet either, the latest comic. I've been meaning to do that, which I think has a bit more Willow in it.
Yes, it does. I read that last night.
Yeah, I have it installed on my phone, just haven't got around to reading it.
Good one.
Yeah, I hope we get to see a bit more of her, though we may not now, but I think it's just Willow she's blaming herself for everything, and she says to Weiss, you left Whitley with us. Or she was like, no, you left, but it's probably a good thing that you don't stay, because then, don't stay with us, sort of thing. So that was really interesting too, is because she missed Weiss, and she was sad that she left, but then she's also kind of glad that she wasn't staying, because she didn't want, because she could probably tell that Weiss was very depressed when she returned after Volume 3.
Oh, sure. And what a lot of what you're mentioning here is actually a big part of the comics.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A lot of Willow and what you're questioning.
Yeah.
It basically, Willow is obviously it's a very broken person, a very broken character, and a lot of things she does contradicts each other.
Yeah.
She's sad that Weiss left, but she's at the same time, it's like Willow's, from what I can interpret, she always interprets everything the worst way she can. Again, like I said, because she's broken. So every perspective she has is a negative one. So she's sad that she's leaving, but she's also sad that she's here. She can't see the positive sides to things. Because she's happy that Weiss isn't staying, but she was crying while she was saying it. Even though she was saying it happily, she was crying at the same time. She's a mess, and it's sad, and it's dark, but it's freaking entrancing. I love it. I'm so happy that they've gone this route with this character. Because I really enjoy even though, like you said, it was short, we didn't get to see much. I hope we see more, but they really maximized, I think, the screen time with her.
Yes.
And Caitlin Glass, I believe it is, did an amazing job with the lines. Fantastic job. Every single line Miles wrote for her, every single word that Caitlin said in Willow, I thought was just, I don't think it could have been much better than what it was.
Yeah, I think it was perfect.
I'm not saying that I don't want more, of course I do, but at the same time, I feel like and again, Miles came out after the episode and said that this is a really important episode to him. And I can tell that he put a lot of effort into making sure every line in this episode really meant something, between what Jacques was saying, between Willow was saying, between the four characters at the start of the episode. I thought the writing and delivery on this episode was one of the better ones, and much like episode 2 of this volume, and the episodes that are dialogue heavy, they clearly rewrite it a lot and make sure it's as perfect as they need to be. Because episode 2 and episode 8, I think, are both examples of episodes that were a lot of talking, but I don't think there was a single thing I didn't like hearing.
Yeah, that's true, Bassett. Yeah, like Willow, I believe, like, she's drinking because it's her way of coping with everything. from the abuse and everything, with Jax and seeing what's happening to her kids and everything. It's a coping mechanism. So, yeah.
But, and it's something that you do learn, it's something that you do learn from the comics that, it's not always like this.
Right.
She does get to a point where she's happy drunk.
Okay.
But that's the thing, that she needs to push herself.
Yeah.
You know, she can be that rich white lady that revels in her wealth.
Yeah.
You see that in the comics, but again, she has to push herself to get that way.
Yeah.
And it's not a healthy happiness.
No. It's more of a fake sort of like facade that she's putting up. Yeah.
And you know, the best hits, I mean, Jacques didn't hesitate, just like, but well, I've always felt that, I feel like what Weiss said was a little out of, wasn't worth a slap.
Yeah.
But also, that's a hell of a comment to say to someone.
Yes.
You know, because when you think about it, if he didn't, she wouldn't even exist. So
that's true.
Maybe I'm pulling straws there to be the devil's advocate, as I usually do, which is quite literal when you think of Jacques, the devil's advocate. But yeah, still unnecessary. And I did even hear someone say that, I wonder if there's going to be some sort of blackmail or public outing of Jacques by Willow, because if she has installed cameras in every room of the house, would in theory maybe have footage of the slap.
Well, true. Yeah.
Which would be a nice, as like a way to out Jacques as this horrible person.
Yeah.
And again, even though I feel like, they mentioned the episode that, they know Jacques is a horrible person. They accept that, both Willow and Weiss do. But, seemingly, the question is how much of the public really know about that. And I think a lot of public probably do know he's an asshole, but, but like he says himself, he provides everyone with work. So you can't hate the man too much when, without him,
don't have a job. Yeah.
They don't really have a choice.
Yeah. And it was interesting too, like how Willow said, like, that Jax may have actually gone into something now, which is, into bad things. Yeah. So because she saw that
he's always done bad things. Yeah. Like they said, he's always been a bad person. He's always gotten himself into bad things. But even Willow thinks that he's gotten into something that even he doesn't understand, which he has.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
But again, that's not even his fault. That's Watts' fault. Watts has tricked him. Not tricked him, but I'm sure Watts hasn't told exactly. Like what Jacques is doing is just is being manipulated by Watts, who has a greater plan. So he is in over his head, even though he's getting exactly what he wants.
Oh, exactly, and he's happy as long as he's getting everything that he wants. Yeah.
But the question is, if I doubt even he'll be happy if Salem comes in with a horde of Grimm and destroys Atlas.
Well, yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, he wants Atlas to thrive so he can make money. If Salem destroys Atlas for the relic of creation, then he'll have nothing. He'll have nothing left. So I could definitely see a point in the series when Salem arrives in Atlas, and they kind of have to work with Jacques in a sense, because even Jacques wouldn't want that. I would think. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think we'll have to wait and see. For that, sure.
Well.
What did you think of Ren and Nora kind of being bubbly and happy again this episode?
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was a bit. Everything's been a bit weird because, like, we had the kiss and everything, and then we had the other scene when Ren was sort of like, not on Nora's side, and then we get this scene where they're happily helping each other and stuff. I'm like, it was a bit disjointed.
Okay. Like, so here's. I don't mind Ren, like, and Nora kind of distancing themselves after the kiss. Because again, what happened to Tyrion? I think there's enough there where I can see where Ren, like we said last, like, blames himself and kind of is now going to push Nora further away because he wants to focus on the mission.
Yeah.
As he has since they found out about Salem can't be killed back at last volume. And I can understand that for the sake of the mission they had to work together, and therefore they worked together in this episode. But yeah, I'm glad you agreed that there was something that wasn't quite right.
As much as I love the moment, it's just there's things that just
awesome, but it felt a little out of place.
Yeah, it did feel very disjointed. That we're not really, I don't know. Of course, things can happen off screen, as they say, but I I feel like we need something sort of like them talking about the kiss and talking about how things are and just establishing themselves a bit more, because I feel like that's been left out.
Yeah, like I can justify again like the kiss to like the scene last episode, and this one I can kind of justify in the sense of it's for the mission. They can work together and kind of, you know, because this is furthering Ren's goal of, you know, working for Ironwood. So I can kind of get it, but you know, there's only so much we can justify. So I hope this does get addressed sooner rather than later.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, because if the next episode they're fighting again, then I'll definitely be a bit like, okay, we need to kind of
we need to establish things here.
RWBY is the show itself is the master of justifying things in hindsight.
Yeah, true.
Which isn't the greatest storytelling method.
No.
But in terms of, you know, when the show's over and people are binge watching it, it'd probably be a bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
It's just going from week to week and we're kind of questioning stuff. It kind of just gets us a bit. I'm sure they'll have a conversation. Like, I'm sure whatever is going on, they'll have a talk. I'm 100% positive of that.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Until then, it's kind of it's up to us to kind of justify how things are happening.
Yeah.
Why they're happening the way they're happening.
Yeah. It would be great if we could see that message with Winter leaving for the military. Or maybe it might get mentioned, perhaps, but as we can see what we're seeing in the Shnee Manor as well, there's, besides the family portrait, we haven't seen really much anything of Winter at all in the Shnee Manor.
No, I mean, I definitely imagine in a sense that she's, in a sense, been disowned
from
the family. But again, Winter said herself that she distanced herself from the Shnee name, so I'm sure it doesn't matter to her.
No, but it's just very interesting.
Whereas Weiss doesn't want to distance herself from the Shnee name. She wants to fix it. Winter wants to put that all behind her and let it go, whereas I feel like Weiss wants to take it for herself and fix it.
Yeah.
The problem is that, you know, Whitley is now currently standing in that way, and I'm really excited to see where that goes, because I really wasn't sure. Obviously, back in Volume 4, we weren't really sure, you know, because a lot of people were like, we never heard of a brother before, he just showed up out of nowhere. Yeah. Is he a brand new character? Did they just make him up for this volume? You know, what role is he going to have? But I always like looking into his Whitley's inspiration. He's based on the Artemis Fowl, who I believe is a story of like a young child detective.
Okay, cool. It does sound kind of familiar. I think I've heard of it before.
I think there's a movie coming out about it next year, actually. I think a Disney movie, I think.
Yeah.
What isn't a Disney movie these days? But like an actual Disney live action movie, like a you know, a Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. Or an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm really curious because we have seen that Whitley definitely, you know, he's always sneaking behind doors. He's always looking. He's always observing. Yeah, you'll notice. You know,
yes.
Like back after Jacques slapped Weiss, you know, he was just outside the door. You know, he didn't want to leave Watts and Jacques alone.
Yeah,
you know, he's definitely very observant. He definitely. So I'm curious to see if that's gonna come into anything. And that does always line up. You know, people used to think that the W was Whitley. Obviously, it was Watts. But the fact that he's based on Artemis Fowl, I can definitely see where that credence had a bit more.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So I do hope that they do. Since Whitley is here, he's a character. I would like to see them go into them a bit more. But yeah, that is what Billy. I believe so. I don't know if that's 100% certain. I think Miles said it once in a tweet or something. But I believe that's what he's based on.
We might see some more things later on that confirm that too.
Well, I mean, the dinner party still isn't over. Similarly, the next episode will. Although I have seen a joke or two where people are like, "Oh, I can't wait for the next episode," and they skipped over the rest of the night. I'm like, okay, they've done that twice. Yes. I don't think this is one of those situations.
No, and
it's gonna end as a cliffhanger, not like open. I don't know.
And what, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned in my reaction, I rambled for like 10 minutes after the episode too.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned about how this is very convenient for Watts at the moment too, and Tyrion, I suppose. Everyone's at this dinner party, so there's no one protecting Mantle as such.
Yeah.
Which is also very interesting. So I think that's what they kind of wanted as well, especially with turning the heating off.
I mean, I assume Watts was the one who probably gave Jacques this idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to get everyone, and also not only that, you said like no one's protecting Mantle.
Yep. Everyone's at this dinner party.
Yep. You also mentioned the idea of like a red wedding, like everyone's in one place.
Yes.
So both are possible. I think both are definitely possible. I'm
And-
definitely curious to see how, because I've seen this like idea of this blizzard snowstorm. Again, they're on the North Pole. That's why the heating system is needed, because the bloody North Pole, basically.
Well, they mentioned it back in the early episodes that without them generating their aura, you could die within hours of the cold. So how cold it is.
Civilians need the heating system.
Yeah.
You know, huntsmen will be fine to a degree.
To a degree. I'm not sure how long they could keep it up for, too.
Well, without the heating systems, people are going to start, you know, like we saw what happened. They have cold dead body models from Volume 6.
Oh,
they
God.
have models of that. Everyone died from cold in the bloody Brunswick farms.
That's right, yes.
They have all those models still.
Oh, they do? Oh, my God.
All those when I start lighting the streets. Yeah, but of course, like we said, like we saw the little kids, you know, they don't realize. You know,
hey, look, Mum, it's snowing! Like, oh, no.
Were you going to say something before I jumped in with the remarks?
Not sure. Well, we haven't really discussed too much. We've been jumping around, but that's how this episode was. So, but of course, the dinner table chat with Jarks and Ironwood and all of that. So we did get two of the councilmen, women. So that was good. So I can't remember their names, but
I was surprised to see Robin there. That threw me off guard.
Yes, yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, but she was invited. She is still like a very public figure in Mantle, so she's still important enough to be there. She doesn't have any political say. Well, but they still value her opinion in a sense.
I thought, in a way, like, if they are trying to get Ironwood to give up his seat on the council, then they'll get Robin to fill it. And that makes sense in a lot of reasons, because they could manipulate Robin very easily, because she's got goals that she wants, you know.
Sure.
She's from Mantle. That's everything she's doing. I feel like she could be manipulated very easily with that. Same with Jarks. He just wanted to be on the seat of the council because he wanted to have that power and to dethrone Ironwood, basically. So I feel like they all got goals that can be manipulated by Watts. So to me, it would make a lot of sense. So that's probably what he's told Jarks as well. Have this dinner party. Have the councilmen and women there. Put a doubt into everything that Ironwood's done. Have Robin there as well, and see if to get Ironwood either to give up his seat or have it forced from him by a vote or something.
Yeah,
and Robin take it.
From what we've seen, Robin is pretty quick to not necessarily jump to conclusions, but she's definitely not the most political person in a political position. You know,
yes.
she's very much a huntress at heart still.
Yeah.
And she's very much, you know, like, where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Said back in episode 5, so she definitely likes. So I could definitely see what you're saying, where she could definitely be. And again, they also brought another person who doesn't like Ironwood.
Yep.
So I think they also brought her in just as another
exactly.
like, you know, thing for Ironwood to have to deal with.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Penny too. I don't know. I think Ironwood does sort of see her as a person, but she is also in a way also a tool. So, I don't think anything Ironwood has said or anything Ironwood has done has been necessarily unfair. Like, I get where he's coming from. That is, she's under my control, and I think he meant that to be portrayed in a good way, but it could also be portrayed in a bad way.
A lot of what he says, both other people and Penny herself kind of interprets it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like the idea of, like, Ironwood says that, you know, you have no time for friends. You know, I don't think Ironwood means any of this stuff in a negative way.
Yeah,
I just don't think.
It's just how it's interpreted.
I just don't think Ironwood has ever been the greatest with his words.
No, he hasn't.
And he's always had his stubbornness, and I think that doesn't lend himself to being very compassionate. In his speech.
Yeah, he probably didn't tell Penny that she had no time for friends. He probably just gave her the opportunity not to have time for friends, having her very busy with protecting Mantle and doing other things as well. It could have just came off that way.
And as Penny's my favorite character in the show, so
I love Penny.
But she was built for a purpose.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she. Yeah, obviously she still deserves, you know, her own free time, and she deserves her own free will, of course. But you know, she was created for a purpose. So
yeah.
I can't be harsh on Ironwood for that.
Yeah.
You know. Like, if Pietro was like that, I'd be a bit more concerned.
No, Pietro sees her as his daughter.
Ironwood is essentially her boss. Pietro is her father, and Pietro is that kind, loving, do what you want kind of person.
Yeah.
But Ironwood is just getting her to do the job she was designed, and the job she has to do. And
then left the rest of the council. Yes, it did. Yeah, which was interesting. So when they were saying that they don't have any more idea what's happening with Ameturina than Jax did. Everyone was like, oh, you don't know, sort of thing, because she knows. But
yeah, and again, it's just the idea of Jacques knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what buttons to push. He knew exactly what topics to bring up. That all just funneled all against Ironwood, and the rest of his team.
Yep.
For sure. I like the idea. I do like the fact that there were only like 4, I guess 5 seats if you count Ironwood's 2. There's only like 4 or 5 seats on the council, which makes sense from what we've seen in the past. Like you would, the word council, you'd always assume it would be many people that run the kingdoms. But from all the silhouettes we've seen in the past episodes from Volume 2, the World of Remnants, it's always been a very small number, like 3 to 4. Yeah. So, I imagine when I'm watching some reactions tomorrow, I definitely imagine some people will probably be a bit confused with the small amount of people. Like only 4 people run the kingdom. It's like, well, I mean, you could. I mean, one person runs the fucking America. One person runs Australia in a sense, even though it's more like...
They had their advisors and things as well.
It's more like a whole government. Like a party, one figurehead, whereas America's a bit different.
Well, like Robin's got her supporting huntresses. I could see that the councilmen and women would have their own supporting people as well, or their other advisors and things they would give tasks to too.
Like they have their own, like, in a sense, political parties.
Yeah. I could see that.
Again, like Ironwood brought, like, a dozen people with him.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, they're not all sitting at the table. They're just my eyewitnesses should I get accused of anything.
Oh, I just remembered what I was going to mention earlier. Was that I saw people mentioning too that everyone didn't have evening gowns, which would make sense of evening wear because they're attending this very posh dinner party, but also they're there as huntsmen and huntresses. But it would have been, I agree, it would have been really cool to see them actually all dressed up in beautiful evening gowns and suits and things like that. But also I can't understand why they didn't.
I mean, like Ironwood said, he brought everyone most of his security.
Yeah.
So they weren't brought as dinner guests.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously Winter wouldn't wear one. I doubt Weiss would just because of the nature of being home. I don't think she'd want to.
No. Well, her outfit in a way is a dress.
RWBY isn't really that kind of person.
No.
Like a fairness, she's probably under a lot of stress.
Yes.
Yang, I think, is just too casual for that as well, kind of like RWBY is. But maybe Yang could have. I can see why a bunch of characters, if they had the choice, wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it would have been nice, but
it would have been nice, of course. But at the same time, of all things for RWBY to use their resources towards, like I like the fact that they just used the one model and did it for all 4 characters for the pajamas.
Pajamas,
that was just an easy, quick fix. I quite liked how they did that. Whereas doing those formal outfits might be a bit more. Yeah.
Australia needs happy huntresses confirmed. I'm all for that. So, well, we had Winter, of course, explode. You could tell she was getting very pissed off with everything, and it just bubbled over, which was going to happen. So it's a good thing that she walked out, I think, and Penny, of course, followed her to check on her, make sure she was okay. And I loved that chat between the two of them.
Yeah, but again... Winter walked right into Jacques' schemes. Unintentionally,
Unintentionally. He expected that,
Jacques just turned it around against Ironwood.
Yep.
But, I thought Winter's outburst was a bit much, but I guess we don't know all the story. We don't know all the history between those two. You
can see it was about to happen because she was tapping her finger on the table. She was really getting really pissed off, like, yep, she's going to explode any minute now. And out it came. But I really liked the chat with Penny. Winter said, like, this house has so many negative memories for her, and she thought she had herself under control, but she didn't. And Penny's like, well, I thought you were talking from your heart, And we're just like, but I can't do that. I need to keep in line. I had to be, under control. And Penny's like, well, I guess, I don't understand. I thought that was such an amazing chat between the two of them.
Yeah, because Penny came up to the scene and was like, is everything all right? And she's like, well, you wouldn't understand. And, Penny took that as, a racist comment.
Yeah, in a sense. She looked at her hands and like, oh.
I didn't mean that way. Just because you don't have the emotional connection to this place like I do.
Yeah. And I like how Winter sort of like felt really concerned, like, oh no, that's not what I meant. Like she was, her reaction of realizing that how Penny taken it. I really like their relationship. Sure, it's a business relationship, but they seem to be sort of friends as well in a way. And
it's it's something I mentioned, I think, back around episode 4, where it's like it's become one of my favorite pairings in the show. One, because from most people I've seen, it hasn't been shipping.
Yeah.
What I've seen, which is just always a good. Personally, it's always like.
Yeah, I haven't seen any particular shipping mentions for Penny and Winter. No.
Yeah, that's like that helps it in terms of like the greater fandom thing. Like, people can just be friends. So I love that about them. But I love just their dynamic, and I love just the parallel between Winter finding her Ruby the way Weiss found her Penny.
Yes.
Ruby, Winter found Penny.
Yeah, I like that.
These so similar parallels of these characters that shouldn't be friends with these other characters, but I've been forced into, and I've just worked, to get along, And again, Ironwood is Ruby and Weiss is Ozpin, and Ozpin is Weiss and Penny's Ironwood.
There's a lot of different sort of and I get that
between like those 2 to 3 characters.
Yeah, and I think it's good. It's good for Winter to have this other person who's completely different to her, who speaks from her heart and is so innocent and pure. Not saying that Winter isn't, but it's just it
still knows everything she knows and still has the exact same goals as her, but yet so different. Yeah,
it's a completely different views of things, and I think it will. Maybe have Winter rethink how she does deal with things, keeping her line and everything, not talking from her heart. Whereas Penny says, you were talking from your heart, and I guess I don't understand. So yeah, I think that will help a little bit, maybe with how Winter's going to handle things when she comes back into the dining room. If she does go back in, I assume she will look like Penny did. So,
but of course, too, like Robin and Jacques did point out, it's safe to have Penny here, as we mentioned. Ironwood,
so she's under my control.
People just keep putting guilt trips on my girl.
Yeah,
and I'm not super happy with it all. I'm tired of her looking so guilt ridden. It's like, no, Penny, you did nothing wrong. Stop it.
Yeah, Penny, we love you. I get what you're saying too, Best Hits. Yeah.
That's more or less what I feel. It would have been a nice gesture, of course it would have been.
Yeah.
For sure.
Each time they're doing different outfits and stuff, it is a lot of work that goes into the modelling and such. So, yeah. I guess people were thinking back to Volume 2, which I think was a lot easier in the old engine compared to Maya. Because in Volume 2 we had the school uniforms, their battle outfits, their alternate battle outfits, and then we had the formal dresses as well. So there's so many different outfits in one volume, but I believe it was a lot easier for them to do that in the old engine compared to the new one. And
also the seasons also had a lot longer time between. It wasn't until Volume 4 they became yearly.
Yeah.
Before then they had a lot longer gaps between them all.
Yes. Yeah. So. Yeah. So it would have been nice to see them in different models. I understand why they weren't, and I'm cool with that. Yeah.
I'm not too sure if there's anything else we've actually missed.
I'm just thinking through. I think we covered most things.
I think we have. We jumped around, but I think we actually did.
Well, this episode was a bit all over the place too. So
yeah. Well, I guess we we didn't really. Did we really jump into Willow? I don't know if we actually.
We did. Yeah, we did. We discussed things with Willow. We were talking about Whitley, and that led into Willow, and then the Weiss and Willow scene. Yeah. So it's interesting now that Weiss has this image of Watts now, and she doesn't know who he is, but it's just more of a clue of who is behind things, because they didn't know about Watts or anything. No. So this person now, so who is this person? So that's going to help them figure out that it is Watts behind everything. And hopefully also if they end up showing it to Pietro, which I'm not sure if they would, but or even to Ironwood, someone would recognise him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes after this whole dinner party thing too, when they do find out exactly who he is. That'll be interesting. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of the dinner scene. Hopefully Ironwood does keep his seat on the council. I'll just see how that all goes. He has to turn things around. But also what's going to be happening down in Mantle with the heating turned off. And people are going to start freaking out, which could cause Grim. And it's going to be really interesting where that goes.
It's very interesting course they went down, because obviously when Weiss mentioned the heating back last episode, I always assume like, okay, that's just a loophole for him to get through to security measures. But no, they're actually, it was like, no, it's like it's a loophole, but it also can actually I can also just do this.
Yeah. So well, they want to cause chaos and everything, so this is definitely a way to do it. That's for sure. Because people are going to start freaking out, and we could have people start dying as well, getting really sick from the cold, and yeah, it could go really, really dark. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes and what happens from there.
I remember one thing that, because yeah, the question has always kind of been, how is Watts going to be found out by our heroes?
Yeah,
because no one knows who he is. He's been, he's this scientist who's been dead, who knows how long.
Yes,
has a connection to Penny and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people, from what I've seen, obviously we now know that it's going to be through Weiss and finding, which also is interesting because that now sets up Weiss and Watts, like they're going to be the antagonists of it. I would assume they're going to be the antagonists to each other, as Ruby is to Cinder.
Yes, it could be.
Because you got to assume that everyone in Salem's going to have like their, like Blake had Adam.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that next main antagonist for each character? I think Watts and Tyrion works really well, especially if, which now this also goes back to, if he does have like a Pacific Rim style weapon.
Yeah.
And then Weiss has a summon.
Yes, true.
Have like a massive android summon kaiju battle, and like that's their fight kind of thing possibly. I was just going to say that's what I was going to say, CD, is that's what a lot of people thought. That's how Watts would get found out, is because Raven's the only person who has seen Watts.
That's true.
Like hero side, kind of.
Yeah.
So she would be the one to let everyone know about Watts, but seemingly it'll be Weiss.
Yeah. But, now they got this way of, they needed something to be able to start figuring out who was behind it. So ended up, we weren't expecting Willow and her cameras up everywhere and catching, what's on camera.
I'm curious to see if we're actually going to see any of the teams actually out hunting for Tyrion. So obviously we were told we're going to do that, but then also we had the dinner instead. So I'm hoping after dinner we actually get into that, possibly, maybe leading to that Crow Robin thing, possibly. Yeah. Well, I think everything's gonna just chaos, whether they skip over it or not, but with the heating off, and then it could a confrontation could definitely happen between Tyrion and Robin. Do you think that this is gonna be like a volume 3? Like, do you think the rest of the season is gonna be this one dinner scene leading into a whole night of just carnage?
Possibly. I could definitely see it leading that way, but then as in we had the riot, which ended up not being anything. Had the grim attack, which didn't really end up being anything.
Skipping over.
So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, whether they're going to skip over it or not, or if they're really going to delve into it. I'm hoping we delve into it. And as much as, like, I don't want a whole heap of characters and people to die, but it would make a lot of sense. And we know
we're going to be here in Atlas for another volume.
Yeah.
So we don't need to have a whole volume of like just getting all the character stuff out of the way. Cause we're not going to have a whole volume of just fighting and stuff next volume or anything. So I could definitely see this being. And again, it seemingly is feeling like it's being hyped up by the writers and stuff. Yes. These final 5 episodes are really big.
Well, this could be the big thing that carries on into well, of course Cinder and Neo could rock up through all of it as well. Who knows? I think that there's a very possible they'll rock up right at the end of the volume, or it could be next volume, but I think they will make an appearance this volume, even if it is just a teaser for the next volume. But see, because definitely now they're catching up time wise, because a lot of time has passed.
It'd be a nice throwback if they did have Cinder and Neo show up in like the post credit scene. Like they did in the first volume, showing up to Roman. It's like you just have a silhouette of Cinder, and you kind of see Neo in the background, just like they did in the factory.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yes,
showing up to like Watts or something. That'd be a really cool, nice little throwback. So I'm definitely curious to see. Definitely miss Neo. And I definitely miss Cinder to a degree as well. So. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. There's a lot of things they need to tidy up, and I'm hoping that will happen all in the next few chapters.
We mentioned Raven. We still possibly have a time Raven thing, maybe. Still have more Stark stuff to get into.
We still need to sort out the Renora as well.
Jean still has a bit of stuff. we could go into with him.
The Faunus workers and the Faunus miners and all of that too. We've seen glimpses of them, but it'll be
the SDC Adam Blake Yang thing possibly could still be a thing. I mean, we haven't got we haven't got the Aesops in quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we've still got a bit more of them. We got the Clover Crow thing, whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
Still like Ozpin, Oscar, and whatever the hell's happening at the moment with those two.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they could touch up on before the end of the volume. It's a lot of things like where they've set seeds, but they haven't actually followed up with it yet. So,
which I don't mind, because we're getting to the point in the volume where a lot of the seeds that we've known from the early gauge of like the Silver Eyes, like the Moon, to a degree, some Stark stuff, like a lot of the early seeds from the early 2-3 volumes have all kind of been addressed at this point now. So, and now we need to start setting some seeds that won't come back till the end of the series as a whole, I feel like. Yeah. Not necessarily some of the points you mentioned there. Those points I think need to be addressed earlier, but definitely I think some, I guess to a degree, like the whole relics and bringing them all together is one seed that probably won't be addressed until the end of the series. So, so I'm definitely curious to see where that goes.
Anyone have any questions they want to ask us before we wrap up? I think that's probably about everything we wanted to cover.
I think so. We go more in depth into the comic, but of course Larissa hasn't seen it yet.
Sorry!
So,
no, I haven't read it yet. My bad.
I think I don't know. I think there might be a slight chance that we might get like a chibi episode tomorrow.
Ooh.
There was some sort of tease about some sort of Christmas RWBY thing.
Oh, really? I've seen people sharing the original, the one that happened last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the case. They definitely haven't like openly suggested anything of the sort. But I wouldn't surprise, because I mean, obviously they did Camp Christmas Special recently. I still haven't watched season 4 of Camp yet.
I haven't watched any of Camp.
But I don't know. I remember seeing something. I don't know if it really. I could have been figuring out my ass here. I could be completely wrong. But I don't know. I've got a feeling. But yeah.
I want to use the last question when he was alone with the relic.
I've definitely seen that being brought up. I want to say no. Only because I feel like that's a plot point that was going to be worth remembering for later, I feel like. But then again, the relic's been away for so long, so maybe...
Don't know. I don't think so, but it would be interesting if that did happen. Because then he will know that, RWBY isn't telling the whole truth.
Yeah, because we still don't know where the relic is at the moment, unless it's just under Oscar's pillow. Like, we don't really know where it is, so...
True.
It's definitely a possibility. Again, if Yang and Blake can't keep their mouth shut and tell Ironwood about Salem, or Ren maybe, but Ironwood already knows, then...
So someone's theory on that being why the plan suddenly sprung into motion after RWBY and Co arrived.
Possibly. I could definitely see that. I think that I would probably, in theory, enjoy that more. If they're building up to this thing, we're gonna tell Ironwood.
And he already knows.
But he already knows.
Yeah.
Rather than
that'll be interesting.
A lot of melodrama.
Yeah.
That will come from like, you lied to me, like Ozpin lied to me, and stuff like that. So, not that I think Ironwood would be like that. I think Ironwood is pretty understanding. And that's why I like Ren so much, because it's like, can we not care about, because like, let's stop worrying about telling Ironwood. Let's actually figure out how to beat her in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
That solves that problem too.
Yeah.
But again, their minds are still having the communication sword to the world is still the most important thing at the moment.
Yep. I think that's it. Yeah. I'm hoping it will happen, but I've got a feeling that it's going to crash badly. If it's Salem's flying monkeys or something else go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I had something else. Never mind, I lost it. Yeah, but thank you everyone.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching.
This Christmassy, if not Christmassy at all, Remnant episode. Thank you everyone who watched the stream live, watched the VOD on Twitch, or watched the VOD on YouTube. Please feel free to comment on YouTube, and one of us will hopefully get back to you.
Yes.
Just as if it was a live chat kind of thing.
Yep.
And yeah, make sure to follow Twitch if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to like the video, etc., etc.
Nope, I always forget which one it is.
Art stuff is being posted that's scrolling below me and stuff. So follow me on Twitter and do that and stuff. And yeah, when we're back here next week, we'll be doing another podcast instead. So make sure to follow us on Twitter so you guys to know when and where we'll be talking about, I guess, the volume as a whole. I guess, assumingly, guess it's up to Corey and Shinu what exactly we'll be doing.
Yeah.
But we'll be back for a regularly scheduled Corner of Remnant discussing episode 9.
It'll be on the 11th.
11th?
Mm-hmm. I know, that sounds weird. So
damn, she's right.
Yes, aha.
She's just right, chat. She's just right.
Rude. So yes, Bigcast on the 4th, and then Corner Remnant will be back on the 11th. That's for our time, of course, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and praise the great one. Oh god, her hair's a mess.
This is the new great one.
That's the new great one.
This is the better great one.
The better great one. Well, well, this is just atrocious. So
Pocket Neo, Waifu, don't have the name for this one yet. But she'll get a name.
No, I have to come up with a name for her.
Feel free to leave your suggestions in the comment or the stream below.
Yes.
What's the nickname for?
What should we? Yes.
Neo, what this will be. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will hear from you guys hopefully next week, if not the week after.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have an awesome week.
Enjoy you guys, happy holidays, and happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Don't celebrate New Year. Or unless you don't celebrate holidays.
Hope you have a great week.
See you guys.
See you everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.